Well, hello, you people. It's Pops, broadcasting from deep inside the chopper box today. Getting this direct heat cooker ready to do some nice Angus beef steaks. Nice and smoky, salty, corn-fed goodness. So it's not quite service time yet, but I do have the pit beans on. Taking a little smoke and getting happy. We're rocking this direct heat, right about 300. Still just a little bit before service time, so I don't have any steaks on quite yet. There's the beans. I'll show you around the direct heat cooker that we're using for today's service. It's got 3/16 inch top. Hold the heat and then push that heat back down onto whatever meat or product you got going. Obviously thermometer. And then the door. This was actually a broaster that I took the guts out. But it's nice because most of it's stainless steel, and that works pretty well. Then I just cut some expanded metal grates out that I can move around, and I can do a direct zone right over the flame, or I can go indirect if I need to cool something off or just kind of let it finish coasting. So that's the pit. That's the direct heat cooker. So this is a chicken broaster. There's the basket where the chicken goes in. It's filled up with hot oil. The heating coils are down there. And here's the door. Left on the other one. There we go. Nice hinge. There's the pressure vessel, all the guts. So you see I took the top off, took the guts out. Electronics, all that stuff goes. Put a nice steel plate on the bottom, a nice steel plate on top. Get rid of most of this, a couple of hinges, and got yourself a direct heat cooker. Talk a little bit about fire management on this direct heat cooker. It's really not a whole lot different than the fire management for the big offset pit, which, like I said, is not going today. It's a day off. But I just use red oak, chunks of red oak. And get it started like any other fire. Butcher paper, throw some twigs in there, start out with the small stuff, get the larger stuff catching, and then just manage a fire so I can maintain a consistent temp. Somewhere right around there that seems to be the happy point for this direct heat, is like 325, just a little bit under. Back in the chopper box for our direct heat weekend. It's Mother's Day. Doing some filet mignon over direct heat. Sorry I didn't get a whole lot of footage yesterday of finishing the steaks off over the fire, but we got super busy, which is a good thing. And we're rocking this guy right about 350. These guys are looking pretty good on the outside. I'm gonna move them back here on the indirect heat to finish off cooking. So this is the last steak order for breakfast service on Mother's Day. Rocking a nice hot temp, give a good sear. And we're on our first flip. Nice, get the lid closed. We're going to be rocking this one a medium rare. I'll try and walk you through the process. I'm not too fussy on only flipping once. I know some people are real sticklers for only flipping their steak once, and that's cool. If it works for you, whatever. But I'll flip it as many times, get a good sear, and then get that desired consistency, temperature on both sides of the meat. So in this case, we're going to be rocking a nice medium rare for the customer. Maybe we'll even go check in on the customer and see how we did. Just another minute or so on this last steak of Mother's Day. So we'll talk about resting for a minute. I'm a firm believer in resting a nice piece of meat, regardless of what it is, chicken, beef, pork, because those juices are pushing, they're pushing outwards. When you have the temperature rocking on it, like we do now. I personally don't mind if a steak is, sort of room temperature, blood warm, something like that. When in food service, it's just a little bit different. So I try and strike a balance. I try and give it as much rest as I can while still getting whatever piece of protein it is out there to the customer, and it's reasonably warm without bleeding all over the plate. So it's definitely a compromise. And our steak is coming off. Nice, rare, medium rare. We're going to give it just a minute of rest. Pull the grate off. And that's a wrap on direct heat cooking for Mother's Day. Don't know if the camera does this justice, but we hit the mark this time.